far so good. So I just picked up this 240 dual cam KA. It's got some sort of intake on it. Doesn't run. Somebody's been playing with the wiring harness. Fuel lines are on, it looks like. Interior's stripped out. It's got a half cage Sonoma spec. All the parts are kind of just in it right now. Got open fenders. Dashboard right there. So it's got a battery box in the back. All kind of stuff back here. This is all the AC stuff. Yeah, so I think first things first, I'm gonna clean the car out and really assess what we've got going on here. All right, so I found a battery. We're gonna stuff this in here. Let's see. Whew. There's a battery. Let's see, where's our power wire here? What do we got here? Got a ground wire here. You ready? Yeah. Okay, we're live.
Only wire we gotta watch out for is that hot alternator wire that's hanging, but it's not hitting anything right now.
There's a hot alternator wire hanging?
Yeah, we could electrical take it real quick.
I'm just curious, where's it at?
Okay.
Oh, that guy's not hooked up. Okay, and then we've got like something right here going on. Is that factory? Oh yeah, it is a factory splice. Okay, on the inside now, we're getting ready to fire this up. Cluster don't work. I need a swap cluster. So let's see what happens.
Fuel pump switch.
Fuel pump switch?
Yeah, it's hanging by here.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we have a fuel pump switch. Wow! Holy sh**. It runs! Sorta. Oh yeah, that's missing hard. All right. Shut the fuel pump off. Oh, it's already so hot. Wow, it fired up. Holy cow, that sounds like crap. Holy cow. So it fired, it sounds really, really bad. It sounds like it's got a misfire, something's up. So I'm gonna check the mechanical timing on, I'm gonna pull the valve cover off. We're gonna check mechanical timing on the motor, and then I'm gonna check distributor timing, maybe firing order on the distributor, and I'll get back to you guys on that. All right, so I just got all the bolts out of the valve cover and pull it up. All right, so we got the valve cover off and we got it turned over with the wrench. So I use 1/16" socket on the crank bolt down there. And we're looking at our timing marks here. And we've got one timing mark pointed at like 2 o'clock and one at like 11 o'clock. And our lobes are facing upwards for our intake and exhaust on cylinder 1. So we've got our mark down here. I'm a little past top dead center. I'm just doing this as a reference check. I'm not going too crazy. Just references on our marks. So now I'm gonna pull the distributor out because this looks like it's proper. So I'm gonna pull the distributor out to see if it's adjusted incorrectly, see where the rotor's pointing. We'll go from there. All right, so I've got these two ECUs that came with this car. So far I've checked mechanical timing, I've checked distributor timing, and I've checked the spark plugs. So from what I can tell, everything's operating properly. Our timing is in the realm of where it needs to be. I haven't checked for vacuum leaks. I don't have a smoke tester, but my friend is on his way with a vape. So we'll check for vacuum leaks, but in the meantime, I've got these two ECUs here. They're identical, one's auto, one's manual. And the previous owner mentioned to me that the spare ECU he had was fried, and these two pins right here in front of my finger are bent into each other. So that could, well, that's the reason this ECU doesn't work. I'm gonna separate the pins and try. I don't know if this ECU is fried, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna straighten this pin out and try this manual ECU. The other ECU that was in it was an auto ECU. So I'm gonna try this manual ECU after I fix the bent pin and see where we go. So this pin right here on the end and this secondary pin right here on the end, these two were touching. Now I don't know what pins those are. I didn't pull out the book and see exactly which ones they are, but previous owner told me this ECU was fried and didn't work. He tried it, so I'm assuming he tried to put it in and bent the pins. So we'll see if this ECU will do it for us. Okay, so I've been working on it for a minute and checked mechanical timing. Mechanical timing's okay. We checked the distributor timing. The distributor timing looks like it's right where it needs to be, but we're weren't getting proper spark. So what I will do now is I'm gonna pull this off here and hold it up right there. So we'll see if we have spark coming out of the coil. Okay, yep. Yeah, we've got really good spark coming out of the coil. Try and start it. Okay, so the problem we were having before was when we pulled these out and check it with a spark plug. Only one of these was firing and the other three were kind of randomly firing, hardly at all. So what I found on this particular car, where the plug wires bolt into the cap, pull this off, these were squished too thin. So you see that contact in there, how it's round? On the inside of here is a round contact. This was pinched too thin, so it wasn't making proper contact. So I took all four of them and the coil out, and I spread them open a little bit with some pliers, and I shove them back in. They're starting to make contact now. We've got spark on all four cylinders, but we don't have a radiator hooked up right now. So now that we got it to fire and somewhat idle, I'm gonna hook my radiator up, put some water in it, that way we don't cook the motor, and we'll see if we can get it to idle. So the lower radiator hose goes on right there, and I should have an upper hose that'll go here to here, and put some water. All right, so I could have swore I grabbed this hose from his house. I can't find it, so I'm gonna make it real quick. This is just 1.5 inch round bar. Digging through my garage, I found some universal clamps. It's so rich, I smell it.
I'm wondering if it has compression.
Me too. We had it running a second ago. What happened? Almost. right about the minimum idle. No, the throttle's not doing anything. Huh. The fuel pump is pumping fuel. It'd be loud.
Yeah. What was that? Oh, control bearings.
It might be out of gas. Smells really rich.
But is it really rich because it's burning 3-year-old gas? That it's trying to burn 3-year-old gas.
Is it really, you think? Oh. Wow.
There's no octane left.
It died.
Get a gas can.
Maybe.
Well, get it back to the house because I'd like to empty that tank.
I'm trying to get it just to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't want to. It won't run on the gas. So. I got a 5-gallon at the house. We only made it about 5 feet from my house before it ran out of gas. I think the gas in it might be extremely old, like 3 years old maybe. So we're gonna get a 5-gallon tank and fill it up, see what it does.